presence is truly a joy and is greatly appreciated. It's a humbling and heartwarming experience to be dancing at Milwaukee Ballet's Baumgartner Center for Dance, and to be doing it with the fantastic dancers at CODC. They are very inspiring, enthusiastic, and creative humans who are generous with their time, talent, energy, and effort. I'm grateful, too, for all of the CODC alumni that came before them. Extraordinary gratitude shines out to the thoughtful and generous donors who made this season possible. Jason, Frankie, fabulous artist, also is here with drawings in the lobby that he made of CODC. So please, if you haven't yet, stop at the table, generously look and shop. So right now, please take a moment and silence your devices as I share a story. In July 2005, Catey Ott Dance Collective took flight. After 10 years of dancing and choreographing in New York City, completing my MFA in dance at UWM, passionately developing my artistic voice and vision, and learning to balance the many roles of self-production and company management, it all happened. CODC's first company concert, Glorious Chaos, received positive press and full audiences. In harmony with the success, a man named Jeff Thompson read about Glorious Chaos in the newspaper and decided to come and witness his first dance concert ever. Jeff introduced himself to me after enjoying the concert, and not too long after became my husband and father to our amazing now teenager, Xander. CODC's Glorious Chaos went on tour in New York City to perform at one of my very favorite venues, Dance Space Project at St. Mark's Church, a place where much of my earlier choreography was featured. Jeff and I moved back to New York City from 2007 to 2012, where CODC went on to create and perform with talented and inspiring dancers all over the city. In 2012, we moved back to Milwaukee with baby Xander to make a permanent home. The CODC dream continued on with momentum, and due to tremendous passion, commitment, and deep focus, it has illuminated over 50 dancers, 50 venues, 100 dance pieces, and thousands of audience members. Now, choreography has always been my way of processing and expressing life stories, milestones, and echoes of the collective unconscious. So I'm forever grateful for all that have believed in CODC by participating in, collaborating with, or witnessing the creations. All right, 20th century, that's me. No, the 20th anniversary performance event. Let's be real. Weaves together segments of 20 years of repertoire, reworkings of group pieces and solos, and delves into new artistic explorations. Additionally, CODC dance artist Rebecca Kapla choreographed a tremendous solo for the program. And a special thank you also goes out to Rebecca, who saved the day by jumping in this week for a dancer who was injured. And we are sending well wishes to that dancer as well, so thank you. Special gratitude goes to you. Thank you for being here.
How they fly today, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Come on in here, come on in here, Alexander's ragtime band. Come on in here, come on in here. It's
That's always raging on the bells and bells are ringing. Oh,
I am a fractal thinker. I am a network maker. But when I write, things are often written in reverse order. It used to be so challenging for me, but now I know to get it all down and then rearrange and reorganize my thoughts. It is now so much more enjoyable to work with words.
dancing in New York City from 1995 to 2004, a return to Milwaukee for UWM's master's program in dance became an excellent next step. The development of CODC was my thesis project and also an exploration of my creative voice with other passionate dancers in the community. CODC moved back to New York City for 5 vibrant years of producing and performing, and then returned home to Milwaukee in 2012. CODC was founded and continues to nurture a collaborative artistic process. It also has a tradition of choreographing personal and collective stories from the conscious and subconscious body-mind, with the goal of connecting authentically with each other, the audiences, and ourselves. CODC has become a multi-generational professional company featuring dance artists ranging in age from barely 20 through nearly 60 years old. This arrangement allows for the flow of inspiration, support, and perspective. CODC has brought 20 years of joy, commitment, dedication, rewarding experiences, and treasured memories with the wonderful CODC members. Dance always, dance forever.
I just appreciate how personal Catey's work is and how she puts her whole self into it and invited each of us to do that as well. Some of my favorite memories are getting to come to Milwaukee to perform, and my uncle and aunt were able to come and see me, which they rarely got a chance to do, and I reunited with someone that I had graduated college with that lived in Milwaukee as well. And so those are just some really fond dancing memories.
One of my most cherished memories of performing with CODC is how Catey guided me in discovering my path as a dancer and performer.
The autonomy and ability to create what was coming out of me, we were all really in ownership of co-creating something together. The thing that I most remember about CODC was the warmth and joy and fun of creating and co-creating with Catey and the other dancers in rehearsals and in performances is unparalleled to any other dance troupes that I've been with.
I was a dancer with the Catey Ott Dance Collective from 2008 to 2010. And it was an amazing experience. I loved every moment of it, and it provided just a most beautiful trajectory that I've had in dance. So thank you, and congratulations on 20 awesome years.
I've been dancing with CODC since 2021, beginning as a guest artist and then having the honor of becoming a company member. One fond memory that I have with the company is my first performance at the Milwaukee Fringe Festival, which is just one example of how the company engages with the community and shares the art of dance. I'm grateful to be a part of this 20th anniversary celebration, where stories are continued to be told from the past and present.
When asked what my favorite memory was, or one of my favorite memories of working with the company, I had to really sift through the last 9 years. And one that kept coming back to my mind was when we danced through the pandemic. So we returned to the studio in late fall of 2020, full masks, social distancing, tape on the floor, and Catey worked with us on a very somber piece, pandemic survival and recovery. And fast forward to summer of 2021 when we premiered it at the Fringe Festival. The performance began with the pandemic recovery piece, full masks, and it ended with a piece called In Good Company. And we're all in bright colors, no masks on our faces, huge smiles. And throughout the dance In Good Company, we would pause and do like family portraits, little moments, little vignettes of how happy we were to be together and sharing our love of dance. Looking through the videos, it brings so much joy in my heart to think of how far we've come from the pandemic to that performance.
One of my most special memories of dancing with Catey was a few years ago. She helped my boyfriend at the time coordinate his proposal to me after one of our performances. So it was really magical to be able to perform and do what I love with Catey and the other dancers. And then after the show, we came out to greet the audience, and she had worked with him to coordinate lights and music, and he came out onto the stage and asked me to marry him. And I said yes, and we're married now, but it's gonna always be a wonderful memory to be able to connect my love for dance and my experiences dancing with Catey with that really special moment in my life. So that it's just, I feel very fortunate to dance with someone who is so kind and caring and willing to take our performance opportunity as a company as a chance to make something really special happen for me as one of the dancers. So that will always be a wonderful memory.
encouragement, all the things that you do every single day, every text, every time. Thank you so much. Congratulations. That we have a passion fruit spritzer toast in the lobby right now. So if we could please find our way to a small cup of spritzer and then leave on the staircase for a little cheers.